Welcome back, everybody, to the PokeLADS podcast, a Pokemon podcast where we talk about all things Pokemon and where we answer the question: would you rather get slapped by Machamp or get sat on by Snorlax? I'm your co-host, Adrian Koyson, aka Does Size Matter LOL on Twitch, and I'm going to introduce my other co-host.
Hey guys, it's Damien, aka Sneaker Dad 93 on both Twitch and on TCG Live. For me, that's a hard question because Machamp's got four hands and he's super strong, but Snorlax is also like 1,000 pounds. So I don't know. For me, I think I would go with Machamp because at least it's over in an instant. It'll hurt like hell, but it's over in an instant. What about you, Adrian?
It depends on my mood. If it's Machamp, like I do like to get slapped around a little bit. I enjoy it. But I would probably choose Snorlax because I got a thing about thick baddies sitting on me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But yeah, probably Snorlax because yeah, I like it. I would ask Snorlax to sit on my face.
All right. Well, for our listeners, we actually have a guest on this episode who is also able to participate answering the question. He's a dear friend of mine and an avid TCG collector in all things TCG, not just Pokemon. He's actually the one who got me back into collecting TCG in general in college for Magic the Gathering. So between these two guys, they just both love to pull me in into just whatever addiction I got. But Jeremiah, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, hello. What's
Hey,
up, man? Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Of course, yeah. So for you to answer the question, which would you rather, Machamp or Snorlax?
Ooh, so I'm a
choose
big
wisely.
Snorlax fan, as you can see. I'm Lil Snorlax collects on Insta, by the way.
Nice.
Um, I do appreciate a thick sitting on me, but the four hands are appealing, one for choking and one for slapping, and then the two for whatever you need. You know what I mean? So I think I have to go the Machamp. I think if Snorlax sat on me, that's instant death. At least like I can get my face redone if I get hit by a Snorlax. I mean, by a Machamp a few times. You know.
We
I'm
got a man of culture here.
Adrian said this last time. I'm gonna say it this time. Y'all are freaks. Like,
Hey
No, we
man,
just like to have fun, bro.
I'm with
We ain't
Adrian, man.
vanilla.
all right. Well, we got a fun-filled episode packed for you guys today. We are going to have Jeremiah talk about his love for Pokemon, where it came from, and what inspired him to kind of be active with it in his adult life, just like the rest of us. After that, we're going to talk about a little bit about TCG in the sense that not all of our listeners actually know how to play TCG. So we're going to do like a quick high level overview on how to actually play the card game. And we're also going to touch on the collector space, on what's the current state of collecting. And what's it? Adrian and I both actually did a survey to see and get a pulse check on the community on how they feel about the current environment. But first off, how's you guys this week? Like, what have you guys been up to? Like, what you all been doing? Like, catch us up.
Should go with our guest first.
Okay, okay. The week's been good, man. I'm a teacher out here in San Francisco, so getting through the semester. A little burnt out already, waiting for that spring break to just chill, look at some Pokemon cards, obviously, and just, spend time with my family and my friends out in Sonoma. But other than that, just living regular life, trying to balance all my hobbies and just work time and girlfriend time. So living a life, normal daily life, man.
Nice, love it.
This
What
man is doing God's work. Teaching is hard, man.
Appreciate that, man. It's fun though. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I what's it? So for context for our listeners, Jeremiah actually runs a TCG club for his kids. So he does spend a lot of time giving back to his class and to his community. I myself am actually a big donator to his class. So if you are ever curious about wanting to give back yourself, feel free to comment on our Instagram, ask us how you can get in touch and how you can be able to give back. So yeah,
Really appreciate you, Damien, and shout out to all the donations this year and past years and everyone who's donated.
yeah, he's got a good thing going on. what have you been doing Pokemon related though? Like I know that you said you kind of balancing all your hobbies and
Mm.
balancing personal life, relationship, work life. But as far as in regards to Pokemon, have you been up to anything as of recently that you're gearing up for or that you're looking forward to? Give us a little taste of what's
Ooh.
going on.
So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm a whatnot fiend lately. I'm just on their
Ah.
bidding, bro. You know, I know my financial advisors will be really mad, but I'm on there, running up that credit card a little here and there.
Not into
But
Shoney.
I know, for real, shout out Sean. But I'm trying to do singles right now. I'm not trying to get any sealed product and just going after what I enjoy and what I like. I'm trying to do. I don't even know if there's anything to call it, but I'm trying to collect one of every Pokemon and just
Mm,
kind of one of every Pokemon card, but like one of every Pokemon card, like the art that I love. And like if I
mm.
find a better one, I'll replace it. You know what I mean? So like one of every Pokemon, but just based on art, like nothing else.
I saw that someone actually is trying to do that same challenge where basically
Mm,
like they have like this basically master binder. It's like their Pokédex binder of all the Pokemon in
yes,
existence, and you're just trying to what's it keep it updated with whatever's the best card that you like at that time. And
exactly.
I heard that there's this fun fact apparently that will be a challenge for you, Jeremiah, eventually. In all of Pokemon trading cards, there's only three Mantite cards in existence.
Right.
So like apparently that's a hard slot to fill to find.
I
That's
heard
the
that
Super
too.
Saiyan dog thing, right?
The
The Super
what?
Saiyan dog looking thing, Mantike, or is that the green one?
No, you're
That
thinking of Manectric.
Oh,
Mantike
that's
is
Manectric.
yeah.
Mantine's
Mantike is
pre-evolution.
it's a pre-evolution. It looks
Hmm.
like a manatee, just or like a manta ray.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, man. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know shit about
Manatee.
Pokemon.
I don't
I've
know
been a
why I
poser
said
my
that.
entire life.
But other than that, man, I'm really excited for Zeta A.
Hmm.
I was playing some like fan made ROM hacks recently, like Radical Red. Like
Oh,
I've been on
nice.
that. It's really fun. If you ever tried that, like it's just like a harder version of like Fire Red, and it's
Mm.
like you can get every Pokemon like up to the current generation
Oh, wow.
in
Sick.
Kanto, basically. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So shout out to the people who are doing ROM hacks.
Yeah, those things are really cool. I've seen some playthroughs online and seen some like dark versions of like different versions of different games too. I think that's pretty cool. Going back to ZA, who are you going to choose? What do you think of the starters and who are you going to choose?
So I know a lot of people were like sad about Cynical not being there. I was kind of upset that they like chose two from Johto. I wish it was more like
A
Legends
mi- like
Arceus.
a
You know
mix
what I
between
mean?
like different regions.
Hmm.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm,
Like I was kind of like, ugh, why did we get two from there? Like I would have been fine with either Chikorita or Totodile in the roster, but like I was like two of them from Johto. Like give me someone else, But I think I'm gonna go Totodile. I'm hoping he'll like how like they tend to add a second typing. I'm hoping he's either water dark or water ice or something like that.
hmm.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. For me myself, I have a soft spot aside from Cyndaquil because that's my favorite, obviously. But between the two of Chikorita or Totodile, my second choice when I did Johto reruns was Chikorita. So that's
Mm.
probably who my starter will be when I would do
Ooh,
Legend of
simp ass
ZA.
Chikorita. You got to watch the anime, man. Simp ass Chikorita, simping for Ash.
Oh
That's
yeah, he
true.
was definitely was.
Also, my girlfriend's favorite Pokemon. So
Oh, nice. There you go.
Oh, my
Uh,
bad.
it's all good,
Sorry.
bro.
Adrian, why don't you catch us up on what you've been up to? I know you just did a League Cup recently, right?
Yeah, it was terrible. I wish I didn't enter. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I frequent league cups. I try to go every quarter. So league cups happen every quarter, and like I live in an area where there's not too many accessible card stores. I think the most closest one near me is like a good drive away, like another 15, 20 minutes away. Plus, there's no parking. So I'm like, no, fuck that. I don't want to go to locals that far. So I try to just hit up League Cups around the area. The last one that I entered, I think it was about maybe 50 people. And I decided to do Raging Bolts again. I went 2-3, so that wasn't the greatest out of 5 rounds of Swiss, best of one. Um, ran into a couple of the homies that I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with. Got to play an old Yu-Gi-Oh friend first round. I got my ass clapped hella bad by Terapagos Cloth. And rest of my matchups were cool. I beat a Goldango deck. I beat a Dragapult deck. Granted, the person playing Dragapult wasn't that great at using it.
Mm,
I lost to Hydreigon, and then I lost to Lugia V-Star, which is cool. Like, I just play League Cups just to play because they're like as close to super competitive as I can get before a major tournament, like a
mhm,
regional or a international championship.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Tournament recap again, didn't do too great, scrubbed out like usual, but hungry for the next one, especially after rotation happens. So a lot of decks are going to change. Raging Bolt's going to get a little bit better, and won't get hit that hard because of rotation.
mhm.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and just hating on fucking collectors, man. Learn how to play the fucking game.
I'm not gonna lie to you. After listening to you guys' first podcast, I was kind of inspired to like actually play more. Um,
There you go.
because of the hate. I'm not gonna lie to you. It fueled a little bit. It fueled a little fire inside me. So I was like, man, I gotta play more.
No, no,
Well,
no.
like,
You're a good collector from what I hear. You collect what you
mhm.
like, not to resell. So I
Appreciate that.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
there's like different types of collectors. We actually, as far as like the true definition, we don't really actually hate on collectors. We hate on scalpers. That's
Mm.
where the true hate comes in, for this community and this fan base. And I forgot what I was going to say. I mean, like, knowing how to play the actual card game does help with the collecting side, as far as like it will actually let you see, not as far as for sentimental value, but as far as like for practicality, what people will be buying in order for them to be able to implement into their decks. And there's always going to be these people who want to have like a really flashy deck, so it's like it's going to want to look good and be practical at the same time. So there's definitely a market for that. I think that's the reason why you'll see certain like energy or item cards super popular, because they are used a lot and they're rarity. So it's like a way to like flex while you're playing. Um, for me, what I've been up to is I've actually been trying to recently get back into playing the actual Pokemon games. So I tried doing a Nuzlocke run for Pokemon Emerald, and I also just recently in one of the local shops, I found Omega Ruby, and I was like,
Oh,
oh, I
nice.
never got to play the remake. And I had I had Ruby growing up, like for the Game Boy Advance, so I was just like, oh man, this is a chance for me to like play a new, like the same game but new. But I can't find my Nintendo DS charger for the life of me, so I gotta ship that off of Amazon real quick to send back over to my house. But as far as for the Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke, I already got a reset because I lost the first
Oh,
gym. That nose pass, like freaking rock to the stab as well as the speed slow. Like, even though I had a mudkip, I got like knocked out hella fast. And I didn't do the species restriction. So I had like 3 Poochyena aside from like my
Oh, damn.
mudkip. So I got like rocked super hard, very fast.
rocked, rocked. I like
See what I
that.
did there?
Boo. Boo, boo this man.
Yeah, I'm not that for nothing, just gotta,
Oh, okay.
Anywho, okay, so that's basically what we've all been up to. I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn it over to Jeremiah to talk a little bit more about, like, what. Let's start off with, how did you fall in love with Pokemon? What's your origin story with it?
Man. So, I was a really sick kid. Came out the womb on an intubator. That's like my go-to line. But I was like, I was born with asthma,
Smooth.
basically.
Mm,
And like I was just very sick. I was in and out of the hospital a lot, and so like I had really bad asthma, so I couldn't really like run or like play outside as much. And like my parents, are both like immigrants, so they were just like, the world out here is crazy, like you shouldn't be outside anyway. So from a really early age, my parents put me on like video games. Like my dad got me like an NES when I was really young, N64. But I remember getting a yellow Game Boy Pocket in my
Nice.
first game. My first two games, one was Mario, I think Superland 2 or something like that, and Pokemon
Hey.
Red. Right,
Yep.
right. So Pokemon Red was my first real game. And from there I like fell in love. Like I was just playing it all day, every day. Went through, remember back in the day when we actually had to buy batteries for our Game Boys?
Oh
Oh
shit.
man.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Even
They took
before the
was it trip
rechargeable batteries?
those pockets were like AAA batteries too.
Right. Yep. Yep. So I was just playing that a bunch, and then I remember my uncle Vic, rest in peace. He asked for my dad and I to come over one day, and I pulled up, and he was like, "I got you something." I was like, "Oh, for real? What'd you get me?" And he's like, "Go over there to that drawer," and I was like, "All right." Pulled open the drawer. It was 3 packs of base set, bro, and
Oh
What?
shit.
that changed my life. You know what the first hollow I opened in those packs was?
Don't tell me it
A,
was a Charizard.
Did you pack a
it
Charizard?
no, no, a Chansey though. It was good. It
Chansey.
was
Okay,
still
Okay.
that's
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Base set Chansey. And being so young at the time and just watching the anime so much every Saturday on Kids WB, um, right?
Oh my god, I'm just getting
Um,
flashbacks
Do
right
they
now.
do they even still got do they still got WB on like the network now or like
I
on
don't
cable? I don't think
even
they got
know.
WB no more.
Do they even
Okay, they
got
got
cable
WB
anymore? Is
anymore.
the
They know
question,
cable
man.
anymore for sure, dude.
But
WB, man.
but I traded away that Chansey, bro, for a base set Charmander because I was like, oh, Ash has a Charmander. Nurse Joy has a Chansey. I don't need this Chansey. I want the Charmander.
Ugh,
And
Chansey's
Okay.
a girl Pokemon.
oh man,
Okay.
I was so upset. And then like someone later, like I think in the day or like in the week, told me like, "Yo, that dude like screwed you over, bro. Like try to get it back." And he would not trade me back.
Wow.
Yeah, I was sad.
BM. BM,
But
dude.
that was just the beginning of my whole Pokemon journey. From then, I like always collected the cards. I stopped for a long time because, like Adrian, like I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! In middle school, and then in high school, I got into Magic the Gathering. So I, like Damien said earlier, I've always been a TCG person. It's just like eras of different games for me. But all the entire time just playing every single Pokemon game, every mainline game. Like I remember just chilling in biology, like AP Bio, just playing the DS under the desk. You know what I mean? Um, and still even doing that today. Sometimes I'll bring my Switch into the classroom. I'm like, oh, it's my prep period. Okay, I'm gonna sit back
There
real
you
quick and
go.
just throw on the
Make
Scarlet
a
and
make a
Violet real
lesson plan
quick.
later.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get it done. I know what I'm doing. But longtime fan and probably just a forever fan, really. It
Nice.
hasn't stopped. I mean, I stopped collecting cards for a long time because I mean, I still do Magic, but I recently got back into Pokemon, probably at the worst time in terms of money. But um, but yeah, man, I'm always gonna love Pokemon. Always has a close place in my heart.
Nice. I love that.
I think that was like a dope story. It's really good to hear how like again TCG kind of transcends like the collectible aspect for a lot of people. Like
Yeah,
if you were deep into like Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day,
right.
like goat format, chaos format, and then like up
Yeah,
until like synchros and stuff released, like it was a really competitive scene. So I really do respect like the folks that are able to jump from like TCG to TCG and learn different types of mechanics because at the end of the day, all this thinking and all this strategizing, it's going to keep us from getting Alzheimer's at the end of the day. So
that's
Dude,
facts,
it's really
bro.
cool to see
facts.
how you have experience in a lot of that and really keeping that love of Pokemon alive because I feel like that's something we tend to like our generation, like millennials, older millennials, we pick it up one day, we drop it, we pick it back up because it's nostalgic, but it's also fun. Like it's something from our childhood that we really like to reminisce. and we get to enjoy it as adults. So I really do appreciate that about your story.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the one of the biggest things for me too is like, like I'm not out here saying, yo, I collect Pokemon, I do this, I do that, right? But like when you find another person who's like, oh, I do that too, bro. And it's just like you can have a conversation for hours. I think that's like one of my favorite things about like being within this community is like finding like-minded people who are as passionate about it as I am and just like being able to make new friends off of it, right? It's about the
Yeah,
journey, not the
most definitely.
destination.
Mhm.
And I think definitely too. I agree with that. Like Pokemon, from what I've learned, especially coming from like the Yu-Gi-Oh community, like Pokemon's a very supportive and friendly community compared to other TCGs. Like I can say that, like 100% behind that. Like coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, that scene was super toxic.
No,
Because everybody's
I
really
super
into that.
agree.
Yeah,
Because I'm from the like I'm still in the Magic community. Like I've been playing since junior year of high school, and just like sometimes groups can be just really toxic and just like, yo, this is all I want to do. I just want to win, bro. Like that's it. And so like sometimes I have to step away a little bit and just, I love cards because I like collecting things, you know? And so
100%.
I'll be like, I need to step away from all the like toxicity that comes with competitiveness and just be like, I like these cards because I like these cards because they make me feel good inside, you know? So the love will
I
always be
agree.
there though.
But also, you got to be a little toxic if you want to win.
You might have to teach me your ways, Adrian. I don't know if I'm toxic enough to play Pokemon yet, man.
No, no, no. I play mind games with my opponents when they're like looking through their hand,
Mm.
looking at the field, and they look at me. I just lick my lips,
LL Cool J
lick my
style,
lips, and
bro.
then I wink. Yeah,
I like
give
it.
them a
Oh my
little
gosh.
wink, lick my lips, bite my lip a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a saliva comes down. Mind games, baby. Psychological warfare. Damien is shaking his head in disapproval.
Yeah, just he just knows how to make me speechless and just catches me off guard. Um,
You're
Question
welcome.
for Jeremiah, just
Yeah.
because since you and I are both like TCG people in general, I have like a very similar story, except I played like really weird ones. Like,
Don't
I
say Duel Masters.
mine's
Hey, Duel
exactly.
Masters was
Yeah.
cool.
I went from Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh to Duel Masters to Card Fight Vanguard.
Vanguard's the shit. I remember Vanguard.
Vanguard was
Yeah,
sick. Vanguard was sick.
yeah.
Yeah, like those first two like seasons of the anime and like the first couple sets like were just like it, and then I just fell off with keeping track of it from there, and then
Mm.
back to MTG to you. But my question is like, if you were to do kind of like a power ranking, like top five of TCGs, including everything, community, what's it, collectability, like competitiveness, etc. Like, where would you kind of put your Mount Rushmore of TCGs? I guess.
Damn. Does it have to? There. I think it's just the top three. It's top three for me. It's Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. Right? I think those are the three heads on that Mount Rushmore. Now, who George Washington is, I don't know. You know what I mean? Some days it'll switch back and forth. I mean, I love. I'll say it like this. I haven't played enough Pokemon TCG to be like, yeah, this is like the shit, right? Like I played enough Magic to be like I love the gameplay and I can tell you almost anything about it. But and kind of Yu-Gi-Oh too, because I was doing GOAT format for a little bit also, but I think overall, I think it's for me Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. But Pokemon and Magic are like this. It depends on the day for me.
Mm.
It because like Pokemon just has this not only nostalgia factor, but like you have an empire, bro. You have the TV, you have the plushies, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's no
You
Magic the Gathering plushie. Like
can't
I
hug a
can
This would be
Black
I
weird.
Lotus.
Yeah.
no, you can't. You know what I mean? I can literally reach on my desk for something and it's gonna be Pokemon. Like I'm not gonna reach for something and it's gonna be something Magic related. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
this empire, but like for me, it's like gameplay wise, I think I gotta go Magic. Um, but just overall, probably Pokemon.
Gotcha. Nice. Well, and speaking of like TCG and that aspect, we wanted, I guess, like, to kind of like round off the segment as well as we'll be able to transition to the next one. You said you just started, collecting, albeit at the wrong time.
Yes.
What made you want to get back into the collector space? What is kind of like your holy grail if you were to have a holy grail card that you were to go after? And then just kind of like a pitch below that, what's just like the next kind of card or thing that you're looking for? Or are you just kind of like seeing whatever comes your way, like that's available kind of thing?
Gotcha. So like I said earlier, like Magic felt like so WotC is the company that runs Magic the Gathering
Yeah.
basically, but
Yeah.
their parent company is Hasbro. Hasbro bought them out like a few years
Mm.
back. So
Wizards of the
Hasbro is
Coast,
back.
Adrian, if you were curious.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was like, yeah, aren't they owned by Wizards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Wizards is owned by Hasbro now. So
Mm.
Hasbro, has like all these different IPs, whether it be like G.I. Joe, Transformers, whatever, whatever, right? All these, board games. And so what has happened with Magic in the last few years is like they've been doing these things called Universes Beyond, and it's basically like inserting different IPs into Magic the Gathering. So there's been Lord of the Rings, which is really dope, but there's been some ones like Fortnite and like other things that I'm just like, is
Mm.
this still Magic? Like, am I still playing Magic, or am I just
Hmm.
playing the Fortnite of TCG games and just having all these collabs? Now, I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie, some of these things I'm really excited for. Like, there's gonna be a Final Fantasy set this year.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Marvel set this year, a Spider-Man set. So all these things on my nerdy side, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Give me, give me, give me. Let me. Here's my credit card. But like as a Magic the Gathering player, it's like, damn, where's the magic? Like, are we running out of ideas for this thing? So that kind of turned me off. And just playing with like going to my local game store and just like interacting with people who aren't the most friendly, like you were saying, Adrian, like some people can be really toxic at their card game, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, but like same thing in Magic. Like people can just like want to win on turn one. I'm like, all right, that's not like I've been playing Commander. That's a format where I'm just trying to have fun and try some, jank stuff. So I kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a breather. Let me see what's happening over here in the Pokemon world in terms of collecting. And so maybe I want to say last October, I kind of was like, okay, let me start dabbling. And it was kind of sad because I was like, let me find my Pokemon cards. Oh wait, I sold them all. I had
Mm.
literally like base set everything. I had Neo Genesis, almost everything.
Ooh.
And you know what I sold that for? Some dual lands for Magic the Gathering. Like I own all 10 original dual lands. And they're just lands and they're just kind of sitting in my collection. Like I can proxy them and play them in decks, but they're just going to sit there. Like I don't even like to look at them because they're not pretty. They're just valuable and rare. You know what I mean? So it's not like
Yeah.
it's Pokemon where it's like, damn, these look cool. This looks great. It's just like, oh, I'm sitting on like a little bit of money and like I don't even play them because I don't want to run top tier like deck things. So they're just kind of sitting. So Whatnot came out around that same time last year, and I was like, let me start. Let me see who I'm following on here, and
And
like
here's the start
Yeah.
of the DGen arc.
right, right, exactly. So I was like, okay, this is great. Like, I can like buy the things I want. I can bid on things, like, and it's just that itch, bro. It's almost like gambling. Like, you just want to, like, oh, let me see if I can get this one. Let me see if I can get this one. So I've tried to calm down off of that and just like, find people who are kind of trying to trade at a lower value or like sell at a lower value. And I'm like, yeah, let me like, let me buy the things I want. And like that's the thing. Like, I'm not here to flip. Like, I'm not here to make a buck. Like, I want to collect because I want to collect. And like that's the thing with me. I've always been a collector. Like even when I was little, I collected rocks and stickers and like you know what I mean. Like I
Damn.
went to yeah, like I went to rock. No, not rock shows. I went to rock shows. Like, let me buy the amethyst. Let me buy the
You got this
jasper.
PSA 10 metamorphic rock right here.
Dude, you got to see
Man.
the sedimentary, bro. Those ones would hit.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's cool.
But
I
yeah,
get
I
it.
got into Magic, or I got into Pokemon, and I haven't stopped, man. So I actually started my club at the school, as a Magic the Gathering club. But these kids, the generation, like, I feel like an old man sitting in my rocking chair saying back in my day, but they don't want to like look through bins and try to make decks. And I get it. Like, I could just play a game on my phone. I could play Brawl Stars. That game's fun. It's 2 minute games, you know what I mean? But if I want to sit there and build a deck for Magic, it's gonna take me longer than a lunch period. So I was like, damn, I'm not getting a lot of people. I have a few people for Magic, which is so much fun, but I don't have a big enough audience. So I was like, why don't I pivot and make TCG Club and just
Mm.
invite whoever? So I got some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I got some Pokemon stuff very early on. Damien donated. A bunch of my friends donated money through Venmo, and I would buy supplies and packs, and we would do pack openings. And this year was actually the first time I started like during our food fest, right? Like, I would sell Pokemon cards, like packs
Oh,
of them
nice.
to raise money for the club. So like, I would like buy a booster box like wherever, like at my LGS or on Amazon, and then I would upcharge a little bit so that I could make revenue for the club, so we can buy more cards and kind of keep doing the same thing. So that actually was a huge hit. And like, I tried to do, these kids, they're so into like Pokemon Pocket too. And like the risk of gambling. Like, I hear the word gambling at my school at least 3 times a day. Like, oh, I want to gamble. You know what I mean? Like, I want to buy a pack and gamble. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mm.
But they're just like, they're like, I like the thrill of opening a pack or whatever. So I
Those
also did
dopamine
this
hits,
like,
man.
right. But I also was just like, all right, let me make some more revenue for my club. We did $2 like roulette spins. Like, no matter what, you get a hollow, and then you can win a slab at the highest level. You can win a
Mm.
pack. You can like, I was like, let me try this out. Like, not on some whatnot shit, but like, let me try and like make some money for my club. And it was a huge hit. And the kids the next day were like, do you still have packs? Like, I want to buy from you, Mr. V. And I was like, this is sick. Like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna do this often because I don't want it to seem like I'm running a racket through my classroom,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm running like a game store through my classroom and like get caught up by whatever.
Slanging, bro. Slanging.
Right, right. But I was just like, this is really cool. Like, the kids are interested. So what I've been doing is like, I'll leave, the big white boxes for collectors of just bulk, right? I leave the Pokemon one open, and kids will come in and like, oh, can I go through the box? And I'm like, sure, take whatever you want. Like, these are all bulk, like, it's all good. And if you ever have trade, the club has its own binder for trade. So like, if
Mm.
people donate like rare cards, I'll slot them into the binder and be like, hey, do you want to trade? Boom, 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 facilitate some trades. Or like, oh, do you like, I have some money left over for the club. Do you want to sell your cards to the club? You know what I mean? And keep this cycle going, and hopefully
Mm.
like get more people in. And so it's so cool because I like got a bunch of students this like past 2 weeks, just like super like, yo, you got new cards in that like bin thing. And they're kids that I don't really suspect to like want to look or play with like Pokemon cards. And they're just like, Mr. D, I just like the pictures. I was like, cool, that's awesome, go ahead, like,
That's dope.
enjoy
That's
it,
dope.
Yeah.
and so,
Yeah.
and it's great. It's a great feeling because I like, Burton is my high school, and it's like, it's in an underserved community, so I know that like a lot of these kids don't have access to buying a bunch of these Pokemon cards. So like, the opportunity to give back to them besides just my teaching like feels great. And it's also something I'm passionate about, right? So it's like, yeah, come in. Like, I have someone who's dedicated to Pokemon and can teach you how to play. I'm dedicated to Magic. If you want to learn that, we can learn that. I have some Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Like, it's really a good environment, and like, my classroom is almost always full with kids who are either just hanging out or playing card games. So it's a really fulfilling thing to do. And I
That's
just
dope, man. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I just did it
Like,
off a whim, and it's gotten bigger, and hopefully it'll continue to get bigger.
yeah, and it's crazy because then like we're from a similar area, and like Burden has always had that aura about it, or had that like stereotype of being a really rough school. But just to
Mm.
know that like something as simple as a TCG club can bring different types of kids together. You get like the hella thuggish ass kids, and then you get all the nerdy kids. But it's
Yeah,
cool because they're all there for like one common goal, and it's a safe space that you're creating for them. So that's really cool, man.
yeah, man. It's a really good time, and I'm like really happy about it.
They still got quiet time at Burden.
Bro, it's never quiet time, bro. I get
that
tension
20
headache.
minutes of quiet time.
Bro, the only quiet time I get is during my prep, and there's still kids in my room during my prep period. Tension headache by fourth period, bro.
Do you have anybody any of the kids or youth in your club, are they competitive?
I have one kid. He'll go into versus games, which is kind of
Right.
like San Francisco's kind of main LGS. Out on Terval. Shout out D. I used to go in there for Magic all the time, but he'll go to there, and I think Gamescape on Diviz also. He hits both of those and tries to be in a few tournaments. He's really stoked about the Journey Together set. I think he's planning to do what's her name? She has the watch roll, Iono.
I
Oh
know that's
yeah.
the deck I'm trying to make. Yep.
He's already planning around the Iono deck. So
Yep.
I was like, that's really cool. And he's kind of been the one to inspire me to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna make a deck eventually. Like I'm with it, you know. So
You
yeah.
know,
That's dope, man.
now that you say that, Jeremiah, I actually have a deck that's basically going to be rotating out, so I don't need it anymore. So I think I might just send you like a full deck for you to play with.
Bro,
It's
I'm with it.
it's a Hisuian Zoro art deck. Adrian hates that deck because the whole purpose is that what's it? You spread damage on your team specifically, but for each
Mm.
Pokemon that has damage on your team, that empowers your Hisuian Zoroark's ability. So I basically made it to where it can like one shot a Charizard EX if you do it right. So like basically
Gotcha.
it'll like have really good capability there. But yeah, I think I might just send that to you in the next batch next time.
It's
Bro,
because
I'd
I hate
appreciate
rogue
it.
decks.
You don't like things that are out of the meta?
I don't like rogue decks, bro. Meta stands for most effective tactic available.
That's hella
I'm
funny.
a meta slave, so sorry.
Oh, I'm all about. I'm a jank person, so like even in Magic, I'll throw some crazy weird things
I'm
in
pretty
just for the
It's
sure
fun of it.
surprise factor always wins, man.
I'm pretty sure you rubbed up
Hisuian
on.
Zoroark was on thing. It was on stream
Oh,
Mm.
for
really?
UIC. So you're good, Damien.
Well, okay. Well, I was gonna say like Jeremiah, I think rubbed off on me because I would go after like the jank stuff that no one really plays with. I mean, like Lugia is like, what's it is pretty better, as far as for competitive TCG. But I was always looking for some other ways to like just kind of surprise people and make them go like, "What the hell just happened?" Um,
Best deck in format, baby.
Ooh.
yeah. Adrian's already building into the Dragon Pole deck. I'm going for Greninja Baxcalibur. I think it's more like Greninja Chinpao, I guess, as like the two main attackers. Um,
Part of me wanted to learn how to play the Snorlax deck, just because it's Snorlax, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, because I looked through the
Don't
deck list and I was
uh,
like, I don't know if I could do this.
don't be a
it's
fucking degenerate, man. Don't do it. That's
it,
the
it,
dark side. Don't do it.
it's literally just a game of patience. Like you're literally being the Snorlax, like not waking up without a poke flute, just like blocking whatever, and just causing your opponent to just pull their hair out.
I've
Um,
never played against Snorlax in person, but I always promised myself if I were to play against Snorlax at like a regional, I'm gonna flip the table. We've already been putting the cards out. I'm just gonna ask, what the fuck are you playing? Snorlax, flip the fucking table.
Auto DQ, bro.
I'll give a fuck, Keisha. It's such a degenerate deck. Like people play it because yeah, it works, but also you play it because you know it's gonna piss people off.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was like, I literally like I don't know too much about, the card game as much, but I looked through that deck list and I was like, I don't know if I want to play this. Like I even knew, you know what I mean? Like I could tell.
But it works. It works though.
Yeah,
It definitely works.
yeah. There's a reason why it's well known because it does work.
It'll always be
Um,
relevant.
hmm for sure.
You were asking, Damon, you were asking like what was my
Chase
fa
card.
chase card, chase card. It's tough. Oh, there's a Snorlax that I'm actually after. I think it's the Team Rocket one. It's hella expensive. Like that's like one of the personal ones I really want. Yeah, I think that's like one of my chase cards for sure. The
Is that
Team
the
Rocket.
original Team Rocket set?
I don't think so. I think it's later on. I would have to look it up. But I think it's dark energy too. It's not a normal Snorlax.
Oh,
Let
like
me
a
see if
dark
I can.
Snorlax.
Yeah, damn. Let me pull it up really quick. I got the Dex app helping me. I was also trying to complete like a master set of Japanese 151. So I downloaded this app. I was like, let's see
Woo!
what happens.
Oh,
But
Jeremiah,
that sounds hard.
my local shop just restocked on Japanese 151. If you need me to snag some
Oh,
stuff, I just saw them posted
oh.
on their IG, so I can go grab you stuff.
Yeah,
Let's
the benefits of living in
let's
SoCal though.
I know, bro, every Target, every GameStop, every single Costco I've ever been to in the last 4 months, man, just empty.
Oh
It's
no, yeah, there's
disgusting, and it's
there,
so
there-
sad.
there's no stuff at like any of my stuff either. I just followed my. It's funny down here they call it LCS, not LGS.
Mm.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Local
Local
card
card store.
Card
Yeah.
local
store.
card store. Yeah. But yeah, I just follow them and they post it, and I just try to snag it when I can.
I think SoCal in general just has a bigger like TCG community in terms of like commerce and the
Mm.
Mm.
availability of like different card stores here in like the Bay Area. Yeah, there is Gamescape. There's versus like you said in the Sunset, and then after that, there's no more like in this vicinity. You have to go to like Gators in San Mateo, or I went to a League Cup in Palo Alto. I drove like 40
Damn.
fucking minutes just to play a League Cup called in Gamelandia for Prismatic Evolution.
I
So
know.
like you're
And
lucky to be living in an area with a lot of game stores.
it's so weird because like some game stores really specialize in one game. Like Versus, I feel like is mainly Magic. The one in Pacifica is it has a huge One Piece following.
They got a big Digimon following too.
Right, right.
Yep. I forgot
So
about
like I
that.
don't.
Anime imports.
Right, right, right. Found the Snorlax. It's this guy.
Oh wow!
Snorlax EX Rocket. I don't even know what set it is. Oh, EX Team Rocket returns.
Oh,
Just
so it's the
just
second iteration of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
just so we know, what is the price point for that? Since you said
Uh, $530 currently.
Woo, that's a
No,
life
no,
mortgage.
just kidding. 600 on TCG Player.
all right, well,
Damn.
if you and Liz ever tie down the knot, that's my wedding gift to you.
She'd be so
Damn.
upset.
Dude, he wants a Dyson air purifier, not cardboard, bro.
I don't want air purifier. Dude, I feel like a old Filipino Latino man in my household. I'm like, yo, can we not turn on the heater? I know it's cold. Throw on a jacket. Like, I'm
Get
like,
him some gout medicine.
too much adobo, bro.
Dude, too much fucking chicharron, man.
All right. Well, what's it? Thank you so much for being able to share us like your journey, your story, and like what you've been up to and how passionate you are. I mean, like as long as I've known you, you've always been a huge Pokemon fan. I know like anytime I talk to you, you're like, oh, I'm playing this game, or I'm like, I'm in the middle of Pokemon Go, or I'm going out like for this stuff, or so it was really nice to be able to bring you on and to be able to just have you chime in, uh, because I feel like, as you mentioned before, this is where all the fun is when you connect with other people who are just so passionate about Pokemon, and then all of a sudden you just like, I know I can vibe with this person. So it was really great for you to be able to share your piece and your story. Um, But as far as like segueing into like the next portion here, as far as but still keeping on top of like collecting, Adrian, do you want to take it over from here?
You want me to talk about collecting? I fucking hate collectors. I'm just kidding.
Besides that,
Before we even transition, I just also want to say, like, to backtrack a little bit, like, as a former educator myself, it's really cool to see like another educator really bridge the gap between like the school space and providing like a a healthy and safe environment for youth. So I just want to like really double down on that and say, thank you for doing that kind of work. And you're definitely probably one of the teachers that everybody really loves. So really, give yourself a pat on the back for that, man.
Thanks, you guys. It's really nice to hear that coming from people like outside of the workspace. You know what I mean? So it really does mean a lot, and thank you for having me here on the podcast. It's nice to share this. Like teaching can be really hard and bog you down, but it's really these stories that kind of make me want to keep going and like want to still be a teacher and want to continue this into retirement. So thanks, man. Thanks, y'all.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate you both.
love you, dude.
Yeah, no worries. You ain't leaving yet, though, right? You still staying on this
Oh
episode?
no,
No,
I'm
he's still
still
staying on.
I'm here. Me
I
and
just want to get like,
that
all
sounded like an
sentimental real
outro
quick.
to me. I don't know.
No, I just wanted to get all sentimental really quick and just be like,
Yeah.
I
thank
know.
you. That's it. Like that's all.
No, there's no toxic masculinity in here. We give
Never.
each other flowers, man. You got that Pokemon pedagogy.
Yes, I like that. Might use that. TM that.
Oh damn. See,
You see
Damien
that
don't know what we're
TM?
talking about.
You see
I don't.
TM, bro?
I don't.
TM double entendre. Shit.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
TM toxic? What?
Ooh.
Cool. So we're gonna segue into
Isn't that like
collecting,
TM4?
right? TM4. I think it changes, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. It changes
Yeah, it
Depending on the
changes.
generation.
depending on the generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that Miltank has 4 nipples?
Okay.
Come on, man. I didn't take a drink the entire time because I was like, let me be professional in here, and then as soon
I
as
just got to put that out there, just in case nobody listened to the last episode. Like Miltank has 4.
Is that
nipples.
really your favorite Pokemon?
Yeah, specifically for that reason. Yeah, udders out for Miltank, man.
Otters out from
Whoever designed Miltank knew what they were doing. They were doing a service to the community.
I mean, you made a great point last podcast. Like when it uses milk drink, it's not like it like reaches for a can thing of milk or a gallon of milk. It's like I'm gonna either suck on my own teat or I'm just gonna squirt it in my own mouth. Like
Exactly.
there's no other way to do it.
And we don't kink shame here. We're sex positive.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry. I just want to start my 10-page apology by saying you both are beautiful people, and I don't mean to be the way that I am.
It's hilarious.
If you have
Anyway,
anything
getting
to
back on track.
Yeah,
Getting back on track. Yeah, getting back on track. So, Damien, you were talking about the collecting space, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we did a little bit of research. I actually started it maybe a few days ago, maybe last week. I'm on Twitch. I follow a lot of different like streamers, whether it be for Pokemon Live, random just Pokemon streamers. And I was like, you know what I realized? Like when you click on the Pokemon trading card game category on Twitch, you expect people to be playing, right? But it's mostly pack rippers. And I was like, it's really weird to see how when you think of the Pokemon trading card game, it's opening packs, busting open boxes, looking at slabs, or doing pack battles. And it's not about actually playing the game anymore. That's definitely reserved for like Pokemon Live because you get to see the game in action. So I'm like, okay, let me do some cyber sleuthing and just kind of hop on these different streams and start asking these different streamers like their relationship to like Pokemon. And basically the question I was asking was, hey, I'm doing a survey around Twitch, especially the Pokemon community, and I'm going around like pack ripping streams or collecting streams, and I want to know, is your stream or your knowledge of Pokemon simply just opening booster packs for product and like opening sealed product and just doing collecting, or do you actually know how to play the Pokemon game? or the Pokemon TCG. And I was really surprised. A lot of people don't know how to fucking play the game. I'm like, I stand by my statement in the first episode. They don't know how to play the fucking game. Um, but I don't want to discredit them because a lot of them did have valid reasons for not playing. I think the most common answer that I got was they collect for nostalgia factor, which is again completely valid. That's cool. It reminds them of their childhood. A good chunk of it was I'm too busy to play the game, but I'm also like, man, your bitch ass ain't too busy to rip open packs, bro. But yeah, but um, and a lot of them like they're the to the extent of their knowledge is just Pokemon Pocket, which is like a very watered down version of the game, which is it's cool as like an intro to what the TCG looks like, but it's not the TCG, right? Um, and then I actually came across this one stream. It was this Asian couple from SoCal, I believe. And I'll drop their Twitch handle. I think it's like Agent Damage or something, Agent DMG. And they were actually pretty cool. They were opening some I forgot what that TCG is called with all the waifus, Weiss or Schwartz or
Way
whatever.
Schwartz. Oh, yeah,
Way
Way
Schwartz,
Schwartz.
yeah, all the pretty like
Yeah.
anime women or whatever. So
Oh,
they're
I
ripping
know.
open those packs. And then, yeah, he knows. He knows. Damn, man of culture.
Every
So
TCG,
yeah,
bro. Come on.
every TCG. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I like the artwork for that from what I've seen.
Jeremiah's not a Pokemon master; he's a TCG master.
That's true, man. Collecting them cards like Thanos.
Too much money,
So
bro.
anyway,
Too much money.
too much money. So like I get onto Agent DMG's stream, so I asked them the same question. And they actually gave me a really good response. They know how to play the card game, but are definitely not competitive. But what they really honed in on was like the importance of collectors, slab collectors, even scalpers. They stress the importance of like having to know the competitive culture of the game to really have respect for it. And I really like that answer. And they gave like a whole like spiel on how they went to Worlds and they built a community not only for collectors, but they made it a point to meet competitive players, especially like pro players, like really big names, which I was like really surprised. And they were talking about how um, you have to know the competitive market in order to be like a true collector per se, or to be like a true like pack ripper or like reseller, because certain cards are going to still be valuable, not just for the artwork but because of their playability. So just try like seeing that balance of conscious collecting, if I want to call it that, if we can call it that, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah.
No, that's super. That's super dope because like it's kind of the same thing in Magic too. It's like there are cards that are so good and so rare because they are good, but there's also cards that are like, okay, they're getting the foil treatment or like whatever treatment, but they're still really good, right? So it's like you can you can be both. You can be rare and desired, but also be good for the actual game itself. And those are the cards that are gonna like continue like even though it's not an Umbreon or it's not a Rayquaza or something, like those cards will still have value because of how the playability.
Yeah, definitely. When Adrian brought this up to me that he was surveying streamers, I was like, oh, let me do the same, because I think it was a really great suggestion on kind of getting an idea of what the space is like for all these people. Um, I Since Adrian was doing stream, or sorry, Twitch, I actually decided to look elsewhere. So like, because I've been getting a little bit more into like the collector space, I've been seeing a lot of like eBay live, which is very similar to like Whatnot, as far as like, you're doing like these auction styles to try to like, pay for these packs, and like, oh, you may, and you see that there's like a sense of community on everyone, like watching people bid for these packs. Everyone's participating and watching each other lose, win, but the thrill of opening up packs in general. And I was able to like survey like 10 different eBay streamers, and of the 10, 7 strictly collected, 2 said that they played TCG Pocket, like how Adrian was talking about, and there's like 1 that actually played TCG Live. and he said the deck he was playing was a Dragapult Iron Hands deck, so he called himself a degenerate for doing that. Um, and we can always explain that later on if you guys want to have a little bit more in depth on that. I think in general, like we'll probably do like deck type highlights for stuff that's hot in the TCG space for people who are trying to get into the competitive aspect of it. But yeah, like just know that Dragapult EX with Iron Hands EX is like, if you want toxic, that's toxic. So
I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck you put energy on everything.
yeah, I don't
It's a
know.
lot of energy to be stacking onto an Iron Hands and a
Uh,
Dragon Pole at the same time.
I know, and that's three different types of energies because you need fire, psychic, and like at least what, two lightning, so, or electric. Yeah.
This is why you should play meta, people.
Adrian's out here just hating in general. But yeah, so like it was really interesting for me because I felt like as I was going through surveying this, I thought that these streamers would just be people who were like, "Hey, get out of here! Like, screw you! Like, I'm not trying to like answer. Like, I'm just trying to make a quick buck. Like, that's the reason why I'm doing these like pack ripping streams, you know." But actually, like, there was only one person that was kind of like, "Eh." He wasn't like trying to boot me out, but he also wasn't like the most welcoming vibe. Everybody else was just like completely honest. Like, hey, I am just a collector. I realize I don't understand how to play the game, but I do love Pokemon enough to where I'm just like trying to share this joy with everybody else. So, I mean, they can get their bag, but at least I can respect them for at least loving the product, So it was like a check to myself that I shouldn't judge these people, just for them trying to do whatever they want to do, and expecting them to be toxic, mean, greedy, like just because that's how I view like these whole things. But yeah.
You're a good man. I'm still gonna judge people. I'm just kidding. I think
Always
to
rely on Adrian.
I think well, the thing is with like I think Pokemon is it's in its own category of like having that dialectical, throw out a word for dialectical community where collect like the game can't exist without collecting, because there always needs to be a secondary market, um because if you think about it, like I'm just assuming like from and basing it off of my experience with Yu-Gi-Oh, there wasn't really like Yu-Gi-Oh collectors. Everybody that had Yu-Gi-Oh cards played the game. Everybody that I assume plays Magic has Magic cards because they play the game. And I think the reason
Facts.
why Pokemon is so split between like against collectors, slab collectors, scalpers is because it's way more marketable, kind of like how Jeremiah was talking about it earlier. And it's not just a trading card game for people, it's actual characters that they like grew up with. And I feel like that's why there's such a big not divide, but the the gap between like competitive play and collecting is there, you know. Because again, like you're not going to go up to somebody that's like playing Yu-Gi-Oh and like, oh, I'm just collecting, you know, this hella playable card just because I like the artwork. More 9 times out of 10, they're probably playing a deck that, you know, and they're going to like regionals and like YCSs and stuff like that. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
No,
Totally
I
makes a lot of
agree.
sense.
I agree. Like, I think I am the only person who collects a type of magic card. Like, I play the game fully, but I'm the probably the only one who like collects legendary creatures. And it's so weird because it's like, oh, I've always assumed that's how it was because I got into Pokemon so early, right? Like Pokemon is literally like the concept of the game is collecting and like catching these Pokemon, right? Like catch them all. So it's like, oh, I thought everyone in Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, because like I was like, oh, let me get all these dragons, right? Like let me get the Blue Eyes, let me get the Blue Eyes Ultimate, the Stardust, like let me get all these things too, right? And I was like, wait, no one, you're right, no one is doing that, and it's crazy because you just gave me that realization. Is like, I'm really the only motherfucker out here trying to collect legendaries in Magic the Gathering. And there's about 20 each new set. So what am I actually doing here?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, like, again, bouncing off of Yu-Gi-Oh too, it came with an anime that was about playing the card game. Therefore, if you're playing the game, it's
Right.
because of the anime, right? But then, Pokemon, in terms of like the show, you're playing the cartridge, you're playing the Game Boy games, you're playing the Nintendo games, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think, yeah, it's a really weird like gap. Like, man, it had like a high moment right now. Like a
Well, I
revelation.
know.
Oh,
For
you just
real. Like,
transcended to like a new plane and just
Bro, like,
someone.
got some
what if
knowledge.
hear me out. What if Miltank had 5 nipples? That should be
Okay.
crazy.
All Okay.
Where would
Moving
the
on.
fifth one go? Whose mouth?
Exactly.
All right, so you guys have heard us talk a lot about like TCG and talk a lot about like basically playing the card game. We thought it would be good to kind of give like at least a high level overview on how to actually play. We won't go into like too much specifics, not a whole lot of the mechanics, like all the nitty gritty stuff, but we'll just kind of like give like a high level overview. And so hopefully I'll be able to get our editor to be able to have like a nice canvas on painting this out with graphics and all. But so each player has 60 cards in the deck. The purpose of the game is to do there's 3 ways to win, basically. At the beginning of the game, once you've shuffled your decks and you've established your hand, you then set out 6 prize cards, just like how in the Pokemon game, you have to, if you have a full party, you knock out 6 Pokemon, and that's how you win the battle. In the card game, each time you defeat your opponent's Pokemon, you take one of your own prize cards, and that counts as a knockout. So the first way to win is by getting all 6 of your own prize cards. The second way to win is by knocking out an opponent's Pokemon. So the way that the deck or the field is laid out, you have one attacker, and then you have 5 Pokemon on your bench. Very similar to like how in the video game you have your party. If you knock out an opponent's Pokemon, that is their main attacker, with no Pokemon on the bench, that counts as an automatic win as well, because that's basically a no party knockout. And then the third way, which is a very traditional way, or like, one of the ways that a lot of TCGs work, is if you deck out, if you draw all the cards in your deck and you have to draw another card on top of that, there's no cards left to draw, you lose the match. So if you can get your opponent to do that, that's a third way to win. So the decks that are in play with Pokemon all consist of trying to achieve one of those 3 strategies. And so the deck that I'm playing, which is Greninja Baxcalibur, the purpose of the Greninja deck, or one of the ways that I could win, is either through like the traditional getting 6 cards way, but the secondary attack, I forgot what it's called, but it's basically where it's a damage spread attack where I can actually put damage on 2 of the opponent's Pokemon on their bench. So if I could do
Barrage.
Oh yeah, Barrage. So it does like 120 to any 2 Pokemon on the opponent's bench. So basically, I like the utility of being able to choose like one or the other, or like different avenues of being able to win. Jeremiah mentioning the Snorlax deck is a block deck, which mainly achieves the opponent decking out themselves, using all their resources, trying to find a way to like get around Snorlax and try to be able to knock out Snorlax or any of their other Pokemon. But it mainly is trying to being able to get your opponent to run out of cards before they can do anything to you. Adrian, anything to chime in there, or anything that you wanted to explain if I missed or didn't touch on?
No, you explained it very eloquently. If you want to go off the third way to win, knocking out an opponent's Pokemon or active Pokemon without a bench, aka donking, Raging Bolt is really good at doing that, because Raging Bolt likes to go second. When you go second in Pokemon, you get to attack first. And if your opponent only has a small creature, like a 70 HP creature, whatever, and you can accelerate energy really fast with Raging Bolt, and you get that first attack off, and they got no bench, easy dunk. Did that to my friend Avery. Shout out to Avery in his first League Cup. I gave him his first loss by dunking his Charmander.
Damn, ruthless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is ruthless.
we out here.
And like Adrian mentioned, so like the whole going second part, like there's like a bunch of like smaller things that go into like playing the card game. You do a coin flip to see who goes first. The person who goes first gets to like obviously draw an extra card first, or gets the ability to play turn like his turn first, but is restricted from using any supporter cards and is restricted from attacking. Uh, Person who's going second is allowed to attack, but you can only evolve. There's like a bunch of like smaller rules that again, like I could talk about it endlessly, but I won't go into the nitty gritty for. Jeremiah, one thing that's for you that's slightly different from Magic the Gathering, just because like this trips me out when I learned mulligans.
Yeah.
You don't lose cards when you mulligan. The opponent
draws, right? Right.
So I was just like, that's nice, but also pretty annoying for the opponent to have like a bigger head start than you. Yeah. But I think that pretty much wraps it up from there. Anything else you want to say, Jeremiah, before we hop off here?
Again, I just want to thank you guys for having me. Um, it's been really fun. I hope I can come back one day and spread some more Pokemon knowledge with y'all. And just shout out to my TCG club and all my kiddos at Burton High. Let's keep collecting and keep being the positive forces within the Pokemon community. Fuck the scalpers.
And where can people find you?
They can find me at my main account at Straw Hat Jer on Instagram, or at Lil Snorlax Collects, and that's my personal Pokemon card collection.
Nice.
Instagram. Yeah.
Adrian, anything you want to say before we hop off?
Like I didn't mention it all stream, but Miltank. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Did I mention how much I hate collectors? No. I'm just kidding. I think it was cool. Jeremiah, like, thanks for like hopping on. Again, from a former educator to another. Just again, I can't emphasize enough. Really creating a safe space for our youth, especially in that area of San Francisco. It's really important, and just like being able to see another like TCG player, not just specifically for Pokemon, but knows like the mechanics of like all TCGs that they've played. Even coming from Magic. Magic is the OG. Magic is the reason why Pokemon exists. Magic's the reason why Yu-Gi-Oh exists. That's the OG like card game that started it all for the most part, right? And like seeing somebody that's still really invested into that community is really cool. And just it's cool to see somebody that really has a purpose with I feel like oftentimes as older millennials we get bagged on for still loving the things that we loved as a kid, but really turning that into a passion that's influencing like the next generation. I think that's my highlight for this podcast for sure. And this is definitely not going to be the last time that you're on here. I'm hoping by the next time you come on, you'll have learned to play the fucking game. We could get
Thanks, man.
a few
And
games in on live eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have a live account. I'm not like consistent on it. And one of my kiddos has actually been like, "Yo, I'm playing against you today. Like we're getting those reps." And I'm like, "Okay." All you do is shuffle, and I don't know what's happening. You keep shuffling. You're playing solitaire, and I'm over here like with one energy. Like I don't know what's happening.
That's how it be.
But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I have so much love for you, and I've always appreciated you coming on and hopping on to talk whenever I would like. So if you've been listening so far, just want to say thank you for tuning in, and thank you for just hearing us talk about Pokemon, the things that we love. If you have a chance, please drop a like, leave a comment. It goes a long way. We're just starting out, but we just want to be able to hear your thoughts from the community. If you follow us on YouTube, PokeLADS Podcast, as well as on IG, that'd be great. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.
Udders out for Miltank, baby. Yeah.
I was waiting for that.